Dear students, in today's video, I'll be explaining lesson 2 from the First Flight book of class 10th. The title of the chapter is Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. This chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela. Here, he shares a few of his bitter experiences during his struggle against apartheid. Apartheid means a policy that is based on racial discrimination. As we start reading the chapter, it takes us back to May 10th of the year 1994, when Nelson Mandela became the first black president of democratic South Africa. He tells us that the morning of this historic day was bright and clear. For past few days, he had been surrounded with world leaders and dignitaries. Dignitaries are people who hold high ranks. They were coming to felicitate him. The inauguration ceremony was to be held, and this ceremony would have the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. This ceremony was to be held in the amphitheater made of sandstone in Pretoria. This place had been the seat of white supremacy for decades. But today, this place was flooded with people of varied colors and races from all over the world. Nelson Mandela calls 10th May that lovely autumn day because this day saw the fall of a system of governance based on race and creed. Just as the trees shed their old and worn out leaves in autumn, the oppressive policies practiced in South Africa were shed, making space for a new and fresh, democratic, non-racial government. Nelson Mandela was accompanied by his daughter Zenani, and his swearing in was preceded by that of Mr. de Klerk as the second deputy president and Mr. Thabo Mbeki as the first deputy president. Nelson Mandela pledged to obey and hold the constitution of his republic. In his inaugural speech, he expressed his gratitude to all the dignitaries for having participated in this common victory for justice, peace, and human dignity. He further added that they had achieved political emancipation and were now taking the pledge to free all their people from the shackles of poverty, suffering, deprivation, gender, and other types of discrimination. He closed his address with a wish that freedom reigns and Africa be blessed by God. An impressive display of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers added to the spectrum of the inauguration ceremony. Mandela termed it as an exhibition of military loyalty to the newly formed democratic government. When saluted by the military generals, Mandela pointed out the shift in their attitude. These decorated officers who had just saluted him would have arrested him not many years ago. Mandela also recalled the historical events that had marked the growth of apartheid in South Africa. The Boer War and the first decade of the 20th century had witnessed the spreading of the system of racism and dominance of the blacks by the whites. However, in the last decade of the century, all this had been overturned and South Africans enjoyed equal rights and freedom, irrespective of the color of their skin. Mandela also recognized the sacrifices made by thousands of people before him who had suffered hardships because they were patriots. He shared that his people were his greater wealth than the minerals and gems found in his country. He had learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Another observation that Mandela shared was the belief that hatred is not natural to men. If a man can learn to hate another, he can also be taught to love. He recounted the days of oppression that he had undergone during his long imprisonment as a freedom fighter. He shared that even at the most critical time, he saw a glimmer of humanity in one of the guards. This helped to keep alive his faith that man's goodness is a flame that can never be extinguished. Mandela remarked that every individual has twin obligations. One duty is to his family and friends, and the other to his community and country. Every man fulfills both these obligations according to his circumstances and abilities. But tragically, in his country, if any black colored man like him tried to fulfill these obligations, he was punished and isolated. As a child, he did not understand the meaning of freedom because he enjoyed life freely. He later realized that this boyhood freedom was an illusion. He observed that this freedom had been curtailed for all those who were like him. It was at this stage that he joined the African National Congress, which drew him into the struggle for a general freedom for his countrymen. In the end, Mandela says that he considers both the oppressors and oppressed to be prisoners. The oppressed is a prisoner because he undergoes physical torture, and the oppressor because he is bound by hatred. He very rightly sums up by saying that the oppressed and the oppressor alike are robbed of their humanity. Through this extract, we see that Nelson Mandela has been able to impart a lot of messages for the readers to incorporate in their life. With this, I come to the end of the chapter. I'll see you again in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.